That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yes, so yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good afternoon all, hope you're all well. Thanks for coming and joining us for another lunchtime live. And today we have Nikki back.
Hello.
Hey, nothing like a Sunday lunchtime live with the loved one of my life.
Yeah, right. Didn't get anyone else, you said.
Yeah, well, what can I say? Right, so thanks for coming over and joining us for another lunchtime live. I hope you're all well, hope you've all had a great week. And for another hashtag. So we've done loads of different projects throughout the hashtag. We've done lidded boxes, we've done pots, we've done vases, we've done goblets, we've done loads of different stuff. So I thought we'd do something, rather than making something specific, that's the word because I can't say it, we'd do a technique. So on this one, we're going to call it hashtag texturing. So you can turn whatever shape you want, make whatever you want, whether it be a vase, a goblet, a bowl, whatever you want, and then texture. Just to try different types of texturing. Several different ways you can do it. You can do it with the tooling, you can do it with however you want to do it, routers, whatever. So we want to see some adventurous styles of texturing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a small bud vase. And I'm going to do some texture on it with the Proxon Mini Carver. No colouring. Well, I might put a little bit of brush and something over it to sort of enhance the texturing. Obviously, you might have to put some colour to enhance your texturing, but we'll see what we get. So on the lathe, I have a piece. I think it's pear, not 100% sure. I just dug out from underneath the bench. So we're going to rough round it. I'm going to turn a small bud vase, and then we're going to put some texturing just round the bulbous part around the bottom of it, and we'll see what it looks like. If I have to, I will put a little bit of colour on it just to enhance the texturing, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So it's about using your imagination to get some texture on your piece. So I'm going to go over to the lathe, and Nick will welcome you all in.
Okay, I'm going to do it from the participants list. So you obviously won't be in order you came on, and then if I've missed anybody, you can just give me a shout at the bottom, and I can get to read the messages. So we have Amy's on, Barry's Wood Creations, Brent Beecroft, Chris Dodds, Copper Hour Woodturner, Doug Miller at Woodspin Around, Dr. Bob, Grandpa Jim Woodturner, I Want to Make Stuff, Michelle Owlsby, Oosby, I can never remember, Paul Finley, Woodturn at Home, Steve Hale, Todd at Glencove Woodworks, Ward Wilson, Wedge Woodworks, Wyvie Woodshed, Woodward by Colin, and Woodturn by Barry. So that's from the participants list. We also have Copper Hour Woodturning, Norman Greenwell, Mr. G's Woodturning, Charlie Taylor, Door 60, I can't remember if I said, Doug Miller at Woodspin Around, Grandpa Jim Woodturner, screen's gone off, typical. If I have missed anyone, just put at the bottom, hey, and I'll give you a shout out. Welcome Walter, Steve Sutton, Brian with the Y as well. Eric Winkler's on as well.
Good afternoon all. Hope you're all well.
He can't stay, but he's thinking of us all. So just want to say hi, Eric did.
Hi Eric, how are you? Hope you're well. Right, so I'm just going to rough this.
Brian at Hartwood's on as well. He's in the workshop today.
Yeah, he said he was going to be. So I'm just going to take all the bark off of this and rough this out around, and then we can start getting some shape.
Oh, it's Father's Day in Australia.
Oh, is it?
So happy Father's Day to all the Australian daddies. It's 8 o'clock in northern Michigan.
So it's Daddy Day.
Leroy 500's on as well.
Right, Leroy. Just going to stop that and see where we are. Still nowhere near around, I don't think, this end anyway. We'll be able to leave some of that nice inclusion in there, but we'll see.
Paul Cavanagh's on as well.
Right, Paul. Get rid of that.
Paul put, hey folks, I so nearly did something useful today. Thank goodness I realised this was on just in time.
Thanks for that, Paul. I'll take that as a compliment.
I don't know if I said Steve Hale.
Oh my god, loads of worm in this. Loads. Hopefully we'll get rid of all that when we turn it down.
Don't want worms.
Hey?
Don't want worms.
Oh, don't know where it's come from.
Rex B's on as well.
Oh, Rex.
Apparently there's an echo.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, okay.
William Rose Creates is on as well. Oh, Yorkshire Gits on as well.
Hi, Glyn, how you doing? Should be off now. Should be no echo now.
Right, is this better now? Oh. Is it better now? Nikki, you sound like you're in an echo chamber. Glyn said that. Terry Bartlett's on as well.
Hey, Terry, how you doing?
Like I say, if I've missed anyone, just put in the comments now and then I'll... Yep, Todd said that's better.
Right, so
Perfect, yeah, better.
what I'm going to do is, because of that, I'm going to turn some of that away with a bowl gouge.
Sorry about that, guys.
And then we're going to see how deep that goes. So just use a bowl gouge just to trim that back.
Terry Bartlett said he's stuck at Bristol Airport. Surprise, surprise, delayed. They couldn't organise it up in a brewery.
Yeah.
Are you off on holiday, I take it? Terry, off anywhere nice? Rex said, what kind of wood is it?
I think it's a piece of pear.
There's only one bit. Not a pear. Boom, boom.
Don't give up your day job, love. You stick to looking after them kids, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Back to, I was going to say reality, but whatever that might be. Normality, I suppose. Oh, so we have a gentleman on called Stephen Sadler, and he's just over the border in sunny Suffolk.
Oh, well, hello.
Welcome. Stephen. Sidgeby Purpson's on? I think I might have said that, I don't know. I can't remember. JP Woodwork's on.
Hi, JP, how you doing?
Behave yourself, JP. Roger Kent's on.
Yeah, hoping, ain't you? JP doing himself. Right, so I'm going to turn the neck from there.
Behave yourself, Glyn. He's put nice pear, Nikki. Oh.
Right, so
Woodwork learners on. He said, "Hi all. Does leaving tools tool marks leave? Right, say it again. Does leaving tool marks count as texturing?"
Well, can do, I suppose. It is a texture after all.
Dara's in as well.
Hi, Dara.
Terry Bartlett said he's chilling and he's got a beer. JP said he's watching and eating Caspers. Lindsay Keith is on as well. Welcome to the chat.
Good afternoon.
Christine and Michael Hesseltine.
Hi, Michael and Christine. Hope you're both well.
Jim Matthews on as well.
Good afternoon.
Gosh, there's a lot of people.
Thank you, everybody, for coming over.
Got some newbies as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see some new names in the chat.
Yeah.
Right, so there's a bit of split in there. So.
Rex B said, Steve, I saw the picture of you doing a demo at the club. Is there a chance we can watch the demo? No, he didn't record it.
No, I didn't record it. It's a demo where obviously they've employed, well, not employed me. Well, I suppose they have employed me to do the demo. So I don't know whether they would like me to record it. I don't know if that'd be a bit cheeky to ask. But
might be all right, your local one.
Yeah, I'm doing one for my own club in a couple of weeks, so I might have a word and see if they'll let me record that one to put up as a video, but we will see.
Clint said Joe's on the cider.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, that reminds me, I've got a nice honeycomb. What's that one I like a lot? Oh, Brothers. Cider that my daughter bought me, so I think I shall enjoy that this evening with my lovely roast dinner. Oh no, Michelle stole Brian's nuts. I mean ginger nuts.
Oh, right.
He put, I came into the house to watch and have a cup of tea, and Michelle just stole one of my ginger nuts. Not acceptable. Bang out of order.
Despicable, Michelle. Absolutely despicable.
Stephen Sadler said he lives by the nuclear power station at Sizewell, so all his work has its own special glow.
I like that.
So Terry's off to Sham.
To where?
Sham.
Never heard of it.
Sham. RM in Egypt.
Oh, have a great time, Terry.
Yeah, well jealous. That's somewhere I'd love to go. Bit different, but Egypt and Italy. JP put Joe, drink it for Yorkshire. Dara said some of the clubs here in the States have channels and they put out the vids.
Yes. The trouble with the UK is trying to get the clubs into the 21st century. Some of them are doing the same things as they did 20 years ago. That's just trying to drag them into the future.
Joe's on the chat. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
What side are you drinking, Joe? Glyn said to Brian, dare you to tell her off, Brian, about pinching the ginger nuts. And Brian's put, not that brave, Glyn. Just smiled and sent her for some more.
So once I get a rough thickness of the neck, I don't like turning that bit of wood. I go a little bit lower with the tool rest. Then we'll.
Ooh, Copperberg. I love Copperberg, Joe. Strawberry and lime she's got. I like the mixed fruit.
Oops. I really could zoom out a little bit more, can I, so you could see what I'm doing? Oh, a little bit better. How about even further? Let's see if we can move that over a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better. You can see what I can do now.
Yeah, it is, Joe. Mixed fruit is the best. Ooh.
So as always with the hashtag week, it's your interpretation. Oops. I think this gouge is a bit blunt. Let's see if we can get a sharp one. Don't know how sharp this is from Friday night. So you can do whatever texturing you want. If you want to use, like someone said, tool marks as a texturing, then go for it.
Yeah, Brian, what's happening with your internet now?
Sore subject, that is.
Oh, still not working.
Right.
It's getting ridiculous, isn't it?
It is. He's got an engineer coming out tomorrow, I believe. Look, I've got to sharpen these up. I will be back. I'll be back. I'm just going to sharpen this up a little bit.
Gary Glass is on.
Hi, Gary, how you doing? Thank you, everybody, for coming over and joining us.
He said he's fashionably late, but he said is that even a thing anymore?
You didn't what?
Fashionably late.
It's never late. Right out of the way.
We're normally late for everything, especially if
You
we have to
are?
wait for Casey.
Casey would be late for her own funeral.
So he said his internet's been good all weekend, running at 24 down and 6 up as always. Good when I don't need it. Engineer out tomorrow again.
so this will hopefully be a bit better now. It's sharp. Oh, look at that. Oh, amazing. Amazing what a sharp tool will do.
Gary said, does a catch count as texture? And I've loads of those, lol.
Yeah. Well, it's texture, isn't it?
Stephen Saddle said, I agree with the statement about the clubs being stuck in the Middle Ages. I went to my first meet and mentioned I had just purchased carbide tools and was immediately told I was not a turner.
Yeah, they need to be dragged into the 21st century, unfortunately. And I totally agree. I understand why they're like they are, because there's a lot of, it's the older generation who actually are mainly the club members. But we really need to think about trying to get new blood into the clubs, because these elderly gentlemen are not going to be around forever. They need to pass on their experience onto the newer generation before it's too late. But we need to make it interesting enough for the new generation to come in. If it's boring and you're not doing nothing, then the younger generation are not going to want to take part and come in and join us. So it's making it interesting enough to get the younger generation to come in and interact with the older generation. But hopefully it will work out, but we'll wait. Time will tell. So I'm just going to park that there. That's going to be the top of my bud vase. I'm going to take a bit of that out.
So Brian said, Brian with a Y, ideas please for texturing if you don't have special tools or equipment for it.
Well, I am going to show you a way to texture without a tool once I have turned this, and hopefully you'll find it easy enough to do.
So JP said the bowl gouge has only been around since the 70s. Before that, they all used scrapers.
Yep, I do.
Wedge said to Brian with a Y, watch Wayne's live from yesterday. Charlie Taylor said, Steve, don't forget a lot of village halls do not have internet.
No, I totally agree. But with this day and age, you can tag your laptop or a laptop into your mobile phone and stream off of that. Use the data on your mobile phone.
YV suggested nail and a hammer. Terry Bartlett said spot on, ours exactly the same. Obviously means about the group. Todd said you can drill holes. Joe said they need to make it fun. It's what younger people like to do.
Exactly, Joe. Exactly. And my argument is, if you're a part of a club, you don't want to go every month and just sit there and watch a more experienced turner turn. That's not teaching you. You need to have someone so you can get hands on and get a bit of experience that way.
Brian with a Y said he's not got a Dremel but a similar heavier tool. Dr. Bob said carbide tools are a great deal safer for beginners.
The only trouble with carbides is if you get reliant on them, you can't obviously use a traditional like you do a carbide. So, I mean, I started with carbides, I will be honest. Right, so I'm going to just take that end off there now, and then I'm going to drill down the center.
Yeah, Gary, it's hashtag texturing.
We're just going to pile it off, making sure we put our relief cut in there as well.
Jo said she agrees with you.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love watching other people, but it's, It's nice for someone to get, especially a newbie, to get hands on. And I think that's what you mean. To me, that's what a club is. Every now and again, they should have the lathe out and let newbies have a go with someone who's more experienced, so they can, if they're getting catches, they can ask why they're getting catches. Because the best thing, or the good thing about a catch is, that's all right getting a catch as long as you know what you did, what caused the catch. So if you get a catch, you go, okay, yeah, okay, I presented it wrong, or I twisted it the wrong way. You know exactly why you got the catch, then you know what to do to rectify it. But if you're a newbie and you're not taught that, then you could get a catch, and that could put you off, which is not what we want. We want people to enjoy what they're doing, not right. So let's go with the back lathe.
So Dara said, I teach a class at Woodcraft Store in Houston. I give the students the option to start to learn with which tools they want to start with, but I do have them to try both.
Yeah. I mean, I think carbides are great. Don't get me wrong. But like JP said, at the end of the day, they're just a scraper, aren't they? They're not. They're okay, but you just have to spend a bit more time sanding up and prepping. Ooh, squeaky.
Oh, that's horrible.
Do you like it?
Mm.
To make you feel alive. We'll stop that, put a little bit of wax on it. Just put a little bit of wax on that, just to stop that squeaking.
Charlie Taylor said they have training nights once a month.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to have at our club. Have a once a month club meeting, and then once a month have one night for the newbies to come in and spend a bit of time with a more experienced turner, just to, if they've got any questions, just to point them in the right direction. That's what I'd like to see, but we'll see what happens. Right, so that's gone down 100 mil maybe.
Colin said they should bring it back in schools again like they did when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Brent said our club has a hands-on the second Thursday of the month and a demo meeting the third Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
And then we offer speciality workshops several times a year.
Yeah, so it should be. You're helping the new ones in as well. Right, so just going to put a little bit of a return on, or whatever you call it, a chamfer on this, just to, that's just not so plain and boring at the top. I'm just going to open up a little tiny bit on the inside.
Glyn said, don't hang about, Steve. That neck is starting to move.
Got some neck on it, Glyn.
Kev at 9K Creations has only said hi all, just been to March Forces Day.
Hi, Mark. Kev, how you doing, bud? Right, so just going to put a little bit of
William
a...
Rose has got to go. He's got to go back to work. Have a lovely Sunday. Thank you
See
for
you later,
popping
mate.
over.
Thank you. See you next week.
JP said there isn't even a club where he is because the closest one's about an hour and a half away.
That's the trouble when you live near France, JP.
Rex said, Steve, he tried doing the coffee 3 times and it gave me an error. Could you check if it sent the amount 3 times or not?
What are we on about?
At all by IM.
Okay, hang on. Let me have a look.
I can't. It's machine, Steve. You need to sort it.
I've ordered the bits, Nick. I can't do no more until I order the bits, mate.
Woodwork Learner said we had a hands-on event planned. I asked for the hollow and help, got there and couldn't stop myself wobbling, so unable to use lathe.
What, because she was nervous, or? I will check after the live. It was at Brent or
No, it was
Rex?
Rex.
Rex. I'll check after the live, Rex, because I've had no email come through at the moment, mate. But thank you. Right, so I'm just going to round these corners up a little bit. Let's give that a little bit of a round.
Brian said it's the same for him. The nearest one's in North Belfast. In a shed.
In a shed.
Start your own one up, guys.
In a shed. That is moving a little bit, that neck, like Glyn said. I'm just going to round that off a little tiny bit. I'm just doing some nice little shear cuts on there just to round that off.
Brian with a Y said there's no clubs that he knows of in Spain. He relies on YouTube for all his instructions and ideas.
Oh, that's a fatal mistake, mate.
Kev, he can't be far from us.
Who?
Kev. He said I invited a guy from Waplow, drove to King's Lynn.
All right, good man.
He does turn and burning with a microwave transformer. Bill stuff for sale.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just be
Woodwork
careful.
Learner said it was his disability that caused the unsteadiness.
Oh, right, okay, mate.
Yeah, JP, new thing for you to do, start a club up. He just said he knows enough turners down there.
Yep. Right, so I'm just going to gently refine this a little bit. Tool rest a little bit high.
I hate that when I hear that sound.
Well, when you get a catch, I was saying about catches, weren't it? See, that was my own fault because I twisted the tool. Look, I just smashed all that out of there now. Look,
Smashing time.
smashing. That was my own fault because as I came in like that, I turned the tool that way. So it's miles out now. So I've now got to try and true it up a little bit. So that neck's not going to be as big as that now. We'll put that in there. We'll true that back up. Where are we? I should have really put the tailstock back in there before I started doing the other bit. But right, so let's clean this back up now. But it was my own fault because like I say, as I came in that way, you can't see. As I presented the tool in that way, for some reason I turned it like that. And that's when it gave me the catch. So what we call that is...
Kev said King's Lynn and Ely Brill tuition.
Say again, sorry.
Kev said King's Lynn and Ely loads of Brill tuition.
Yeah, well, I think we could do better, Kev, to be honest.
Rex B said, sorry for the problem, Steve and Nikki. My wife says thank you for your patience with me. Don't be silly. And your great way of teaching.
Oh, don't worry about it. We're here to help. I just try to put back what I've had. I mean, I've been lucky that I've made a lot of good friends through YouTube. And people have helped me along the way. And it's just nice to try and give something back to others.
Ward Wilson said apparently he's the only wood turner in a 90-mile radius.
Well, open market there then, mate. Right, so we've still got a bit there that we've got to get
Leroy
rid of.
500 said it's happened to all of us. Means the catch.
Yeah.
Chris said he goes to local men's shed, learnt from retired wood turning teacher. I now learn a lot from wood folk from all over the world.
Who's that, sorry?
Chris Dodds.
Yeah, we got a local man shed in King's Lynn.
Leroy 500 said breathe. Rex B said that is called a great instructional moment. And Glyn said better proportions with the neck smaller anyway, Steve.
Like I say, the thing is getting a catch. It's all right getting a catch, but you got to know why you got it. And then you know what not to do next time, don't you? Which is the benefits of it.
Do, do, do.
So for anybody in the Ely area next week, I am in Ely demoing next when is it Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday. So I shall be there. Try not to cause too much mischief, but so looking forward to that.
Stanton on.
Right, so just going to take a little
Amy
bit.
said it looks like a chicken drumstick.
Thanks, Amy.
Terry said he's now got further delays. He should have been away at 10 past 1. He's now not going till 3:30.
Oh, blimey, God.
Woodwork learner said he only gets to turn at his man shed in Scarborough. Chris Dodd said, learn from your mistakes and mine, Steve.
We all make mistakes. If we don't make mistakes, we're not learning, are we?
I still didn't learn after 32 years.
I'm the best thing that ever happened to you.
You left a razor blade here. I wonder what that was for. Is that a hint?
Well, I thought you was a mature adult.
Neither of the above.
Right, so I'm going to try and leave that a little bit because I do like to leave a bit of a natural in there. Just sort of do it so the bottom slopes down a little bit more. Just take a little bit more out of that.
Mr. G's Woodturning said, I'd love to come and see you, Steve, just a bit far from me, about a 3-hour drive.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you're at Harrogate, we're going to Harrogate in November. If you live near Harrogate, pop into Harrogate and we'll say hi.
I like that, Colin. Woodridge Colin said, we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents.
Design changes, that's what they are.
Kev says the bark looks good.
Yeah, I do like to leave a bit of natural if I can. So I don't want to make the base too small because if I do, that'll topple over. So we're going to go about there somewhere.
Have you booked your tickets for Harrogate yet, Steve?
No, not yet, because I'm still waiting for someone to tell me whether they're going or not.
Probably not.
That's £10 for 3 days, isn't it?
Mark. He's a wally, isn't he?
Right, so that's the bottom of my base. Nice little swoop in there. Don't know whether I might put a bit more of a... I don't know. Do I like the shape? Let's have a look. I think it might look a bit too long. Might put a bit more of a curve on there. It's got a bit of splitting in there. I don't know why that is, but we'll call that a £10 split. I'm just going to curve that bottom a little bit more. A gradual curve on there rather than as steep as it was. That's a little bit better, and then we'll do the same on the top.
You cut my finger then. Wedge
Right,
said
so
he likes his bottom zone natural. Also, Steve. Stephen Sadler said his father used to live up your way in Little Massingham, assuming you're near Lynn. Yeah,
oh yeah,
we're between Kings Lynn and Wisbeach.
Little Massingham, that's about 20 minutes from where we live.
Uzbekistan, didn't we?
Yeah. Right, so that's the shape I'm going to go for. So I'm just going to round this edge off here a little bit.
So Terry said he's happy if they keep him until after 5:10, because if they do, it's after 4 hours and apparently you get a refund.
Oh, free holiday, can't beat that. Right, so
Brian also said, take your time, Steve. I promise to go shopping when you're finished.
okay, I'll
Wedge
be on
said,
till
oh
4.
boy, Brian, you promised a lot for a Sunday. Woodwork Learner said, thinking of making a t-shirt that says Woodturning, making firewood smaller.
Right, so what I'm going to do now is...
Yeah,
I'm
Kev,
gonna...
it is £10 a day.
What's that?
Harrogate.
Yeah, I was only joking. It's not £10 for the weekend. I was taking the Michael. Right, so I'm going to sand this.
Chris Dodd said, our happy accident's supposed to hurt, just asking.
Asking for a friend. No, was the answer. Right, so extraction on, and I'm just going to gently sand this. May go to the Abrasive if this is a bit of a pain to get in, but we'll see.
Mr. G's Woodturner said, going to Harrogate.
Good. We're able to meet up then, mate. Looking forward to getting to Harrogate, meeting some of you guys. So I'm going to use Abranet on that. That'll be much easier than trying to get some of that in. So we're going to start from 120 grit. Your phone's ringing, Nick.
It's not ringing. It's a message. Oh, yeah, it is ringing.
So we're going to get all these tool marks out because we don't want them as texturing. We're going to sand it up to our finished grit, and then we're going to do our texturing. Now the only texture I'm going to do a little bit on the neck, and I'm going to do a bit on the body. Like I said all at the start, I may colour it just behind the texturing just so that enhances the texturing, but you don't have to. And like always, it's your interpretation of how you want to texture it. So let's just look at that. I've got a little bit of, must be a bit of soft grain there because it's just a bit fluffy there. So I'm just going to go down to 100 grit just to do that. Get that out, and then we'll come back up to our 120. Let's have a look at that. Right, so let's go back on 120. So this will be running for 2 weeks as always. Give you plenty of chance to get in your workshops and get it done. Like I say, the idea of the hashtag challenge is not that you have to spend money. We want you to use what you've got. So if you haven't got a texturing tool, then you can improvise. So I'm going to improvise. Trouble is with 100 grit, that left score marks in it. So
Sorry about that. So Ward Wilson said, I make a lot of designer woodwork. Designer fireworks. Firewood, sorry.
so do I. Got a bucket full here.
Amy said, Steve, do you prefer inertia sander or the drill sander?
I don't. I prefer the inertia sander, but I have got into the habit of using the drill sander for doing the inside of bowls because you can get a little bit more, especially when you're in that middle part. Sometimes you struggle with that middle part. So with the drill, you can get a bit better finish on it.
So Vince Kerrigan's only said, afternoon all. I'm a member of the Bristol Woodturning Club. We have 150 members, 16
wow.
lathes and plenty of club tools to learn.
Wow.
The only days it's shut is Friday and Sunday. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good. Very good indeed. That's how a club should be. Available to all its members to learn.
And more than once a month or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm quite happy. If one of the members said to me, "Oh, can you help me?" I'll quite happily have them around here helping them, but you just got to be careful sometimes. I mean, I just like to try and help people where I can.
Woodwork learner's going to Harrogate, but he said he's only taking cash. He's going to leave his card at home. Good idea.
By their Harrogate, places might not take cash. The way the government's going on. They will at Harrogate.
Wedge says 40 grit gouge count as a texturing tool.
Yeah, house brick.
Benjamin's on. Hello, folks. Good thing you can't smell my breath through the chat as more onion in my tuna baguette than tuna.
It's an onion baguette, is it, with tuna side?
Gary said he won't be back in time for hashtag week.
Can you get the date for 2 weeks, please, Nick?
Nope, I'm just a bit busy at the moment.
Okay, sold you then. See, what do I pay all them extra bucks for a professional airworm on a Sunday? I pay you double what I pay everybody else.
Len's handcrafted wood signs is on.
Oh, hi Len, how are you? Welcome.
Right, just checking the chat. 2 weeks from today.
Yes, please.
Is the 18th.
The 18th. There you go. So on the 18th of... What?
Don't worry, no, don't worry. I've just done something wrong.
So on the 18th of September.
So you'd like me on the Friday?
Yes, please.
So that'll be the 16th.
So, oh yeah, because we got special guest there. We're on the 16th. So that'd be perfect. Get the photographs into me by the 16th, and then I will do the montage for the 18th to show everybody's work. Right, so that's 180, 240 if I can find it. No, that's 320, 240. There we go.
Job's a good one.
All right, so there we go. That's up to 240 grit. So we'll leave it at that for now.
So, Kev, whereabouts are you?
I think he's in March.
Oh, so he isn't far.
No.
Hashtag texturing week.
You can type it in the chat if you want. Hashtag texturing week.
Amy has.
Oh, good girl. Thank you, Amy. Glad you're here awake, Amy. Right, so I'm just going to gently sand that. I don't want much, so we'll do 180 and 240 in there. So 180. Just gently rub that in there.
You finished yet?
I'll finish you in a minute if you don't shut it.
So Mr. G said he's having a day with Neil Lawton tomorrow at York. That should be good.
Yeah, definitely.
Not heard of him. Oh yeah, he is in March. He said texturing on anything.
Anything? Got blow my nose.
Oh, Brian just got his tickets for £9. Oh, I know why. £9 each.
Because he's a pensioner.
Because he's a pensioner.
Can you order mine as well, Brian? Please.
Douglas Mungham's on. He
Hi, Douglas. How you
said
doing?
afternoon. Steve, Nikki, and all just watching change. Sort of. Is that a texture and tool?
Oh, that's texture.
I got the wrong teeth in today. Right,
He's got teeth, wrong teeth, teeth, wrong teeth. Right, so I'm going to put a line there and there, and then I'm going to attempt. I did say attempt to carve in between them. So I'm going to use the skew just to put a line on either side of this. So one there, and one there. Now, it's only fair that I actually do it without using a texturing tool, I suppose, seeing that not everybody's got texturing tools. So I know I said I was going to carve it with the procs on, but fair is fair. So I'm going to do a technique that I haven't, well, I've done it a long time ago. And people said I was a bit of an animal, but we'll see what happens. So what you need for this technique is a very precise tool called a hammer, pinball hammer. So what we're doing is basically just tapping in where we've got the lines, and we just want that to dint. Now you can go over it once and then go over it again and again. And hopefully this is going to give us a nice bit of texturing to be highlighted with some waxes or something.
So Brian said he got robbed. They charged him 95p for carriage, no e-tickets. They were posting out the tickets.
Well, they're emailed, aren't they? I think the tickets are emailed out.
You just said no email, no e-tickets.
Oh, right. So obviously, depending on your wood, depending on how hard you smack it. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Can you coming on there? Yeah, you can. You can just see the dents in it, and it's very similar to carving, but obviously a bit more aggressive. Get a similar sort of effect. And obviously that's not going to really highlight until we stick something over the top, but I'm not going to do that bit there. Just going to do in between them lines before we get to that there. So now we want something on the neck there. So again, I'm going to put a couple of little lines on the neck. Just use the skew just to put a couple of little V's in there. Not too deep, obviously, because we've got that 7mm hole in there, and we don't want to come too far forward and end up cutting it off. Bit wide that one, Steve. And now we've got to do something in between there. What can we do in between there as a texture? Something that is off the shelf that we can use that we haven't got to have something a tool for. So let's just clean that up a little bit.
Benjamin said probably a good thing Brian still arrive quicker than your internet. Woodridge by Colin said a meat tenderizer would make an interesting pattern.
Yeah, would do. So I've got to try and find something now that I can get out of the drawer of my toolbox and do a bit of texturing. Let's have a look. What have I got? Oh, that's a hard one, isn't it? I don't want to
Brian
use...
said if they've charged him 95p for an email, he'll not be best impressed.
Right, so I've got a rasp here.
Woodridge by Colin said, do burn lines count as texturing?
Well, that's burn lines, isn't it? So I've got a rasp here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll that across to dent my piece of wood. And this will give me the similar sort of effect as a, obviously...
Right, I just need to go and quickly take these, put in water. Just bear with me a sec.
Your flowers?
What?
Your flowers?
Yeah, I should be so lucky.
Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Has to be a special occasion for that.
So I'm just going to roll that over. Obviously, it's different types of rasp, but I want to use something that obviously is not a texturing tool, because I know not everybody's got texturing tools. So that just gives me some nice little dimples that hopefully we can highlight with some wax or something. So there's a few little dimples in there. Don't know if you can see that. Let's go on the overhead camera and perhaps see it a little bit better then. So let's focus this in a little bit better. So you can see the hammer effect and then the little dimples on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them as burn lines in there, and then I'm going to give them a coat of a colour, just those bits there and those bits there, just so we can highlight those, just so you can see them a little bit better. Oops. So burn line there, burn line there, one there. That'll just stop the colour bleeding through. We'll just get our 240 and just rub it. That's 180. You don't want that one. That's 240. Just rub over that just to get that smoke line off. So we're now going to colour those. I'm going to colour those with flame red. Oh, thanks. That's not very nice, is it? Yeah, that. It's a very nice thing. So get an old brush just to flow those in with. Just use this one of these brushes I wash out. So just pour a little bit of this. Actually, I'll spray a little bit of this flame red in a pot. So I'm just going to colour these. This is the intrinsic flame red. So you don't have to use colour, but obviously it just highlights your texture a little bit. And then we're going to draw. Oh, it's bled through and blooming cracks. It's typical, isn't it?
So Len's handcrafted wood sign says, what type of paint and stain are you using?
This is the Hampshire Sheen Intrinsic stain, water-based.
And Mr. G's Woodturner said, have you ever made a chatter tool?
No, I haven't. I was reading about one of those. Funny you should mention it. I was reading about one of those the other night, and they look really, really interesting. I was watching a video on the Robert Sorby one, and it gives some really interesting effects. Isn't it strange how you read about something, and a few days later people mention it?
Interesting. Dara said, a chatter tool can be made from an old broken bandsaw blade.
Yeah. All right, so just let that dry. Give it a bit of water, really. Sitting comfortably enough?
Yep. Glyn said, an old stainless butter knife makes a great chatter tool.
All right, just go get some water, and I'll be
I'd have
back.
got you some water.
That's all right. I don't want to disturb you. You look so
Water.
comfortable. Water.
He's gone. His headset don't reach that far. So how many people on the chat are going to Harrogate?
I can't hear you breaking up. Let's say it again.
No, you broke up. I'm not talking to you.
That's all right.
How many people on the chat are actually going to be going to Harrogate, I wonder?
How many in the chat think Nikki should go to Harrogate? I wonder.
No.
To meet the famous Nikki.
Kev said, just overhang the tool rest, loads of chatter.
Right, so
Joe knows
just
where her butter knife's gone now. Brian said, interesting, Glyn.
just going to dry this. Where the crack is, it's bled through a little bit.
Is Michelle coming, Brian? Norman Greenwell's going?
See you later, Norman. Thanks for coming over.
No, going to Harrogate.
Oh, right. I thought you meant he's going.
Brian Hartwood said me. Joe said me. Woodwork Learnham, yes. Mr. G's Woodturning, yes. Yorkshire Git, obviously, we know you're going. Steve Hale said maybe. Kev said still contemplating going only if Nikki goes.
All right, so we're going to dry brush this now to just put some colour over the top of that.
I just don't know if Steve could afford to take me. That's the trouble.
I can afford to take you. I can't afford to keep you while you're there, but I can afford to take you.
Well, it's got to be part of the deal, you see. All these lives I do for you, got to get some money out of you.
Jesus Christ. Don't know how you cope, Nick. Right, so we want a fairly wide brush, soft brush. So the idea of dry brushing is basically what it says, dry brushing. So we're just going to put a little splodge on our plate. This is Joe Sonia I'm using. Joe Sonia red iridescent. Wrong camera. Joe Sonia iridescent red. So I'm basically going to
Brian
put.
said no, Nikki, I'm going alone again. Vince Kerrigan said he's going on the Friday. Nikki Jo says she needs a drinking partner. Barry's Wood Creation said tickets and hotel booked for Harrogate.
So dry brushing, basically you put it on the paint on the brush and then you brush it all off. So you just want it so it is basically dry. So and all you're doing is you're brushing over to get on the high spots. You have to build up the coats. You're not going to do it all in one coat.
Kev said you saved that neck well, Steve.
Thank you, Kev.
Woodwork Learner might pick Sunday as it's usually a bit quiet and I need space to get Scooter around. Joe said, come on, Nick. Barry said, go on, Nick, you know you want to go. Mr. G's Woodturn said, ask about an SK114 Chuck on here and you'll get lots of chatter, lol. Dr. Bob said, a point of interest, how's your business doing post-COVID? I bet better than ever. Yeah. Things are certainly picked up, haven't they, mate?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see because I think it's going to hit the fan before long, but we'll see what happens.
But more with
the economy than
stuff.
Yeah.
I think people are being careful with their money, so they might not want the work doing. And
right, so that's a little bit of. You can't really see that on there, but you can just see. Perhaps would have been better over black. But I'm going to put a little bit of gold over the top of that, so don't despair. So a little bit more. I'm just going to do the neck. Like I say, you're just basically putting it on and brushing it off. You don't want loads on there. You just want over the high spots. Like I say, I may have been a bit better with a little bit of black, but I'm going to put a little bit of where did I put that brush with that water? Oh, over there.
probably the same place your stickers are, you lost.
You moved them, mate. Right, so we're just going to go with a little bit of Joe Sonia Gold as well.
Wade said, if you really want chatter, ask Shug about his #1follower. Todd said maybe Steve can 3D print an SK114 for Brian.
Don't know if that would be up to the punishment, but so just a little bit of gold on there as well. Again, we're doing it really dry, so there's only a smidgen over the top. It's just to highlight that texturing, really. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. It might be. A bit thicker on there so you can see it a bit better.
Ward said, I understand if you clamp a #1 follower into an SK114, it'll fix Brian's internet.
Poor old Brian's getting it again. Alright, so don't know whether that'll pick that up, but we'll have a look. Just about picking it up. Like I say, because we've gone on to a light colour, red, you won't see it as prominent as what you would have done if we would have gone on to a black. But we always go over black, so something for a different change. But it's more about the texture than anything else. So just give that a few seconds to dry. And we'll get some. Really, could have sand and sealed it first, but I'm going to spray lacquer over the top of it, or spray sand and seal over the top of it. So hopefully that will hold it all in. That's more about the texture and the actual colouring. As you can see, the hammer effect works quite well.
Kev said that's better, Steve.
Well, now I've moved the board out. I'm just going to dry that. So you just see the gold shimmer on that. So we'll give that a coat of cellulose sand and sealer. Turn the Dave down low. Extraction on. Give it a couple of coats. Let the first one dry off. And we'll give it another coat. Ah, Terence is in. He's crossing the UK, British Channel.
Hi, Terry, you alright?
Hope you had a good holiday, bud. Welcome back to the real world. Alright, so just another dusting of sand and sealer. Again, as always, get a nice seal on it and then you'll get a nice shine on it afterwards.
Hi to Ruth as well.
I
I
bet
think you need another holiday to get over it, don't you?
Ruth needs to have a holiday to get over it.
Ruth needs a holiday alone to get over being
Yeah,
away with Terry
yeah.
for so long. Is that what you
He's
mean?
now dropping Ruth off at the airport to go to Barbados for 2 weeks to get over the holiday she just had with Terry. Alright, so one more.
He'll be on your case now.
Yeah, he wants his workshop done, doesn't he?
Yeah. I think Ruth wants it done more than Terry does.
Get him out of the house. Dry a little bit. And then we're just going to Scotch Brite that up. I moved things about yesterday. I can't remember where I put half the stuff.
I haven't been out here, so it's not my fault.
No, I never said it was. Just speed up a little bit, just dry off a bit quicker.
You've got your man glasses on, that's the trouble. Didn't jump out at you, so you couldn't see it.
Alright, so just denib this.
Cough, Joe said kitchen, Steve.
Yeah. I know, Joe. I haven't forgot. I promise. Right, so let's have a look at that. We've just got a nice
fitting
bit.
Everything in it, mate.
It is. There's not enough hours in the day. We're turning work away because we just can't do it. Right, so I don't want to wax that, and I don't want to wax that because that will ruin that texture and all the colouring on that texture. So I'm just going to wax in between there and there. So let's get some wax. So just a little tiny bit on our cloth. I'm just going to wax that bit there. That bit there.
Oh, Terry met up with Ruby as well while he was away.
Yeah, he did. Lucky man. very talented woman is our Ruby. And then just a little bit on that bottom part. So we're just going to buff that up.
So we know how you love all hearing about the rabbits, the grand bunnies as we call them. So last Monday, I was in the utility room. I went to go into the utility room in the morning and had the shock of my life when a rabbit was sitting there. Thought, that's our rabbit. And the rabbit ran out. And we realised that the little monkeys had chewed through the side of the cage and got out. I think they chewed a bit and managed to move the bar. I don't think they. I don't know. We weren't sure, were we?
So you got a clue how they got out. Well, if they had
So,
got out, there was only like a 2 or 3 inch gap. I don't know how they got through that, but anyway.
so Steve thought it'd be a bit like Bear Grylls. Anyway, after a couple of times, managed to get hold of Flopsy. Thumper decides to run under the shed, which we was actually pleased about. She went under the shed and not under the conifers. Steve thought it'd be a bit like Bear Grylls, so we had a washing basket and a bit of wood and the treats under it.
I made a man trap.
And she came out first, and you tried to put a towel over her, didn't you? And she didn't. She ran back again. So no woodwork learner. They're not pie. And
Yeah, they're rhubarb pie.
Steve sat there for. I thought he'd be there most of the morning, but about 20 minutes it worked out. And the rabbit went out, got the treat, and as she went to back off, knocked a bit of wood herself and put the basket over her. So we managed to get him in a run, and Steve managed to repair it. So now they he made a bigger hole in the end, so they have access to their run all day. Touch wood, they haven't managed to get out anymore. But Steve's definitely got to do some repairs because I've never known rabbits to eat or chew as much wood as what they do. So yeah,
they're destructive. They are. Right, so we'll sand this.
You've got to do some repairs really today, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going in a pie, Amy. Don't worry. Kev said the echo's back.
Is it? Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
Can anyone else hear the echo? Yeah, we should have done, Colin. Should have videoed it.
They should have not had them. That's what we should have done. But Nicola gave in to our youngest
but when
daughter.
they come in the run, they are so cute. And you go outside and they come running up to the edge of the run
and go, feed me, feed me.
Yeah. But now they need to have one that's a run that's a bit higher because obviously if it rains, because they're on the ground at the moment, they get soaked. So that's another job Steve's got to do amongst everything else. We're going to have some terrible weather next week. So
I ain't going to get done by next week, is it?
No, I know.
If they was in the wild, they'd have to live in wet. So
at the moment, they've got a garden umbrella over them, haven't they?
They've got a cover on the cage.
Yeah. It's just when it draws in on the wood and that, innit?
Oh. Blooming rabbits at the end of the day.
Chris Dodd said there's no echo. Steve said there's no echo.
Yeah, I did say there was no echo.
No, we're not making
echo.
Rabbit stew.
Who said that?
Multi-story rabbit cage. Yeah, that's what they need.
The trouble is then getting them down to the run without. We want it so we don't have to keep manhandling them. I know they need to be handled every now and again to get them used to you, but they go mental when you manhandle them. And for some reason, they don't like being picked up. I don't know why. Most rabbits love being picked up, but they don't for some reason.
Oh, Steve, I've got a Norton Live update come up on here.
Just
close it.
It's
an error.
Yeah, we'll just close it. So the idea is want to
It
get
won't
them
let
so
me. I've minimalised that.
we just want to get them so we're not handling them all the time. So that's why I made the tunnel between the run and the hutch. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Kev, rain every day nearly and thunder. Terry said he's got a workshop to do before the rabbit gets seen. Douglas said there was one on the news feed that's over 1 metre tall, 7.7 kilos, and 8-inch long ears.
Oh, yeah.
Glyn said they've seen your gun cabinet, Steve.
Believe me, if I hadn't have caught that rabbit, that would have seen my gun cabinet because I would have shot it rather than letting it get killed in the wild. Because that's not a very nice thing, letting a rabbit being eaten up by a fox. At least if I shoot it, it's gone.
The funny
Right.
thing was, the cat didn't bat an eyelid, did she?
No.
I had to
All
put
the times Nicola's been worried about the cat getting in there eating them. The cat
I
just laid there.
had to put the cat in the house because I was worried she'd go after her. But yeah, she just sat there looking at him. So I said, so she's got to look after them babies.
She's like, what's all the fuss about?
Maybe they don't like their names. Yeah, Benjamin, you're right. They've got quite a kick. Woodwork
Right.
Werner says it's the pot in the other hand. That scares them, Steve.
Yeah, I'll get those wascally rabbits. Right, so here we go. What camera are we on? Let's put it on this camera. Where are we going here somewhere? So, bit of texturing on there, which we've done with the pinball hammer. Little bit of texturing we did there with the rasp. So, like always, it's your interpretation. I didn't want to use a texturing tool because I thought I'd be cheating. Because not everybody's got a texturing tool. So that was the idea of me smacking it. But
Wedge said the cat was displeased with the meal offering.
Yeah. But have a go. Have a go. It's all about your interpretation. Can you see that gold shimmer on there or not?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a bit. Should have been black under it really, but like I say, have a go. Just have a go on the texturing. That's what it's for. Hashtag texturing week. See what you come up with. If you've got a texturing tool, try not to use it. Try something different. Be inventive. Be imaginative. Try something that you've got at hand, and try something different.
Hammer.
But if you can't, then obviously do your texturing tool. But there we go. Nice little vase. Nice little bud vase.
So, Amy's nice work, Steve. Woodwork Learner, very nice, Steve. Copper Owl, beautiful vase, Steve. Wedge, very nice bud vase. Brian said, only just turned out nice, Steve.
Thanks, Brian.
Douglas, very good, Steve. Thank you, Nikki, for getting Steve to do this on your show. Len's handcrafted. Wood Sign says, love it. Mr. G's Woodturning looks lovely, Steve. Gary Glass turned out great, Steve. TJ, gonna have to go. Signal getting weak. The further out to sea we go. Get to see you all soon.
See you later, Terry. Have a good one. Right, so, like I say, it's your interpretation. Do what you feel. Looking forward to seeing what everybody comes up with.
Terry Bartlett, very nice, Steve. Very well. Just have to have another beer. Sid's repurposing, great piece, Steve. Wood Rosary by Colin, great live as always. Very cool piece, Kev.
Thank you.
See you Wednesday, Steve. Nice vase.
Oh yeah, you're yeah. I'll see you Wednesday.
Doug Miller said, nicely done, lovely.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Chris Dodds put keep swimming, Terry.
Just keep swimming.
Brent Beecroft, well done, great ideas. Barry's Wood Creation, great job. See you Wednesday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, so I will turn this light off. I will come back on. No, not on
Amy's
overhead
put
camera.
Hashtag Texturing Week. Dr. Bob, have a good day, Nikki. Thank you.
So there we go. Just see the gold a little bit better on that camera. There you go. So like I say, pinball hammer.
Nice, Steve. Now I have to get my brain in gear.
It's with the hammer. Excuse me. You obviously got to hit it hard enough, but if you hit it too hard, you will crack the. No, you'll spin as you hit it. The grain will crack a little bit, so you'll get some. You mean hit it hard enough to give you effect, but you're always better off going over it once, and if it's not quite hard enough, go over it
Oh,
again.
I'm going to have to keep that one as well. I just went through all the blinking
What?
pots.
No,
And
you're
that.
not having this. It's not good enough to keep. It's only for a demo piece. But like I say,
Steve,
that would have been better if that was black. Personally, would have been better if that was black.
Stephen Sadler said, good tutoring, keep on a thrashing. Kev said, see you Wednesday, Barry. Colin Izzard, nice job, well done. Benjamin, Colin, not yet still undecided. I was about an SC2 to do all of the SC2.
SC2, good little chuck. Very good little chuck.
Oh.
So anybody who's about on Wednesday in Ely, I will be there. I'm demoing. Haven't got a clue what I'm doing yet, but I'm going to try and do something that's a bit interesting. It's hard to do actually because you don't want to do the same demo as you did last Friday. So I'll think of something. So yeah, I'll think of something to do.
Kev
Something
said,
a bit
keep
more.
it, Nikki, it's good.
Something to what's a bit more interesting than just the bog standard stuff. But yeah, so whoever's going on Wednesday, I will see them there at Ely. Other than that, thank you all for coming over. To all the new guys that came over, thank you very much for coming over and joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it. If
Douglas
you haven't,
asked how the demo went.
demo went very well. It was nice. Some good questions. It was a bit quiet for my liking. They just sat there sort of looking at me. Nobody fell asleep, so that's a bonus. But it was a little bit of interaction. But I think because a lot of the times you get the newbies, they don't really want to ask questions in front of others because they feel a little bit humiliated or think they're going to ask a stupid question. But no, it was a good night. It was a good night, and the good thing is I got booked for a couple more, so that's even better. But the trouble is they're getting further and further away from home. That's the trouble. Every time I go further away, I'm getting further and further. But I'm not complaining because I want to. That's what I want to try and do. I want to try and get on the demo circuit and get the name out there, and hopefully it's working. But like I say, this month's a bit busy. We was at Norwich on Friday. We're in Ely next week. And then the week after, it's my own club demo. I'm doing the demo at my own club. So, no, it's good. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the interaction. And like you guys, it's always nice to hear the lovely comments. So, yeah, it's good.
Woodwork Glenn said, thanks, Nikki and everyone. Oh, and Steve as well.
Thanks, Andy. Just remember, Andy, I'm going to see you at Newark. So, not Newark, Harrogate. So, yeah, it was good. So, like I say, texturing, hashtag texturing week. If you can get, when was the date, Nick? Sorry.
What?
When was the date?
Texturing week. The 16th. They need to be in by, ready for the montage on the 18th.
So please have a go. Don't spend money. You don't need to spend money. Use whatever you've got. We're looking to see your imagination and what you can come up with. It hasn't got to be the best piece in the world. It can be on anything. It can be a goblet, a bowl, a bud vase, anything you want to do. If you've got a piece that you've already turned, but you want to have a go with texturing, then have a go on that. But try and use something that you've got laying around within your workshop to do your texturing. We're looking for inventive ideas, and that will inspire others to try the same thing. So have a go. If you can, if you want to, I have the pictures added to the montage, then send me over the photographs by the 16th of September, and then I will do the montage for the 18th.
Oh, I better put your email address in, Hunter.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I will do the montage for the 18th, as always, to show everybody's amazing work. And then what I normally do on that Sunday, I upload it to YouTube so the whole world can see it. And that does inspire people because I always get some nice comments about all the work that everybody's put hard work into. So it's working and it works, and it's nice to inspire others. So please have a go. And we've had some great outcomes over the last few months. Every month it gets bigger and bigger, which is nice. So hopefully this month will be the same. And then we'll be ready for our next one. So the next hashtag will be on, let's just quickly look at the calendar. So that will be October the 2nd will be next month's hashtag. So this month coming up, we have on the 16th, we have Stuart Farini's our special guest airworm. And I believe it's the 30th is the next Battle of the Makers. So busy month this month. Stuart's always great to have on as a guest. Always full of information and willing to share like everybody else. And also, hopefully by the end of this week, I will have the promotional video for the Makers Auction up and ready to go. We've got all the pieces in now. I just need to get my backside in gear and get them all organised, all lotted, and do the promotion video. And then hopefully it'll be up. As soon as that's up, it will be on the channel. I may actually launch it Friday night on the live. So I may do it as an intro on the live on Friday night so everybody can get to watch it. So other than that, what's Kev's word? Just before I go. I can't read that. I ain't got my glasses on.
The med cruising.
All right.
Mhm.
Right. So other than that, thank you very much for coming and joining myself and Nick. Hope you all have a great week. I don't know if Pete's doing live tomorrow because I believe he's taken Ruby back to the train station. So I don't know if Pete's live tomorrow. I'm not sure if Brian's live tomorrow because of his internet. But if Brian's not live, then we'll try and work something out so someone is live, so you've got someone to watch. So other than that, have a great week. It's bye from me and it's bye from
Bye. Take
bye
care,
from her.
everybody.
If we don't see you before, we'll see you next. I'll see you next Friday. Nick will see you next Sunday. Take care. Have a great week. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
That's all, folks.